I have a full-blown addictive brain. I am thankful every day that I'm not controlled by it anymore. But if I allow myself to dive in, I can definitely be an alcoholic. Give me all the wine all the time. I'm a recovering food addict. And as I sit here, I want to go through all the phases of my life that substances controlled me. But my most recent addiction has not been with a substance. It was with a human being. He was handsome, a handsome dude that gave me just the right amount of attention that drives me crazy and leaves me yearning for more. I feel like Avril Lavigne warned us. We can be addicted to a person. If you don't know what I'm referring to, think back to early 2000s, blonde pop star with a tank top and a tie wearing too much eyeliner. You guys know the song? Yeah. I think about this dude constantly. And when I say constant, I mean constant. I go to bed thinking about him. I wake up thinking about him. When I get a message from someone, anyone, I automatically wish it was him. And 99% of the time, it's not. When it is him, the dopamine that I craved rushes to my brain, leaving me high and craving the next hit. I remember when I first met him. I was performing at the same show as him, and at the time, I was a newbie and very uncomfortable being in that environment. He sat down at the table behind me. I remember turning around and saying, "Hi, my name is Abby. This is my second time doing this, and I don't know what I'm doing." And he said, "Hi, my name is blank, and I've been doing this for X amount of years, and I don't know what I'm doing." Thus beginning the one-sided love affair of the decade. Unbeknownst to him, our relationship has had a lot of ups and downs. There have been times in the last 3 years, yes, 3, don't judge me, that I've tried to detox from him many times. I would not message or engage with him at shows just to calm down my obsession. But like a true addict, I would cave and go back. It was very unhealthy. Most recently, we had gotten into a flow that made me think that we could develop a deeper bond, finally. But that went away, and now I'm back to detoxing from him. I wrote this monologue or story about a year and a half ago. And so this isn't a current story. In the last year, I've grown so much. There's nothing like breaking a habit, like diving into a new one. But we can get into that later. After the last phase of this addiction with him, I had a very real and overdue revelation. I realized that I deserved more. I deserved someone to be addicted to me in the same sense, but in a healthier way, I hope. Why am I wasting time on a guy that doesn't love himself enough to love me? I don't hate him in any way. If anything, now I know that we can be really good friends. We were both getting something out of it, to be honest, even though it was unaware to him. It always feels nice to get attention from someone. It's human nature. Even though it was a bit harmful for me, he didn't know that. He was just living his life. Welcome to House of Stone, the podcast where everyone has a story and we get into the nitty-gritty of it all. Today, I have 2 guests. Michelle Dominque, who's been here before, a fan favorite, been requested to come again.
By you.
By me. No, you're a fantastic first guest. I had you on episode 1. And we have Kara Parham, first-time guest. Comedian as well. We're all comedians here. You're a podcaster as well. So thank you for coming to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. I had this episode written for a while. Because of our hangs in the park and we're really good friends, I know that we all can relate to being, one, addicted to things, addicted to many things, and addicted to boys. So, thoughts on that?
Thoughts? Oh my
feel like I know.
God. How much time do we have?
Oh my God, we have so much time.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
You both.
I know who you're talking about.
You both know who you're talking about.
this was
He will
gonna
not
come
be
up.
aware of at all.
Of course.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's possible if he
does, who cares? He can talk to me about
fuck
it.
him.
Like I said, it was
I
a
think
while
it's
ago.
flattering.
Pardon?
I think it's flattering. If
It
someone,
is flattering, right? Like if someone like I really adored this man. I adored him hard, but it was not in a healthy way whatsoever. It was very one-sided. And I'm really glad that I like kind of detox from that. And it really, the reason why I did is because I met another boy.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like that's the big kind of distraction that like changes your course, which is, I don't know if that's healthy.
It may
But
not
in
be
practice,
healthy, but
it's,
like
you
I
know.
definitely know that like because of my relationship now that like, oh, it's nice to like have like it's equal. Like he
and it breaks the pattern of
Yeah.
obsession, which like, you know, whatever succeeds at that is probably a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So before we get right into it, I want to do I always do self handles because I feel like when we get to the end, people maybe not listen to it. So how can people find you on Instagram or Facebook?
oh, right. Okay.
What's your Instagram handle?
I don't even know. It's Kara. Okay.
Okay.
Is it? I thought there was an
Okay.
underscore in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's an
don't know
underscore
why I
in
know
there.
Yeah.
And that's.
Do you want to
that's it.
promote?
Oh yeah.
Yes. That's what.
I have a podcast.
Yeah.
With my boyfriend who just recently forgot my birthday. And
Let's talk about that.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, please.
It's good now.
Okay.
It's all
Okay.
good now.
Yeah.
Just want to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast called AA Meeting.
Yes.
Which, you know, we could tie into addiction as well.
Yeah.
If we wanted to.
I mean,
It's not about addiction.
It's not
but
about addiction, but I like the title because you're American, he's Armenian, and
Right.
you guys have a meeting together as both American and Armenians.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
come together,
Two
you exchange
cultures.
thoughts, you try to solve the world's
Yeah.
problems together.
We do. Two cultures just getting dirty with each other.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Wow, no, it's
Yeah. Hot and
rating
On
heavy.
camera, on camera.
On camera. That's
Okay.
later though. We don't know how much
PG.
people want to see.
I'm sure you like make that exclusive content. Like
Yeah.
pay for,
Oh,
yes,
right. We
just
should
like
start
on our
OnlyFans.
Patreon.
Hell yeah.
If you request it on our Patreon,
Yeah.
if you
You can
subscribe to my
see-
Patreon,
yeah.
I will do anything.
anything.
I'm sure a lot of people want to see my boyfriend's hairy ass.
You know what? I was with a
think
friend
a
the
lot
other
of-
day, and he told me that he shaved his ass that morning and that it was itchy. And I was like, we're not at that level of friendship.
I find it how like several men have told me that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't
They're
wanna
really
know
proud
what
of the
you
fact that
do.
they shave their ass.
Yeah,
for
it's
some
like
reason. They
like
want
anyone
women to
wants to-
know.
I mean, I think it's about time that men start taking
prefer-
care of their body
Men be
hair,
doing,
like
yeah.
we have been for the past
Yeah.
like
Wax.
forever.
For sure, but I don't want to tell you about last time I shaved and what's
It's
itchy.
true.
And
Like
what's
we don't
bleeding.
need to know. Was this like a new experience for your friend? Like
He said that he does it like a couple times a year. And then
Okay.
he
A
did
couple
it
times
like,
a year.
okay.
And he had shaved his ass that morning, and we were walking, and he was
like,
like, and then we were walking past
weddings,
this like big group
funerals,
of people, and then he was
Christmas.
like, he just suddenly was like, I shaved my ass and it's itchy. And I was like, what? And I thought he was kidding because like we were walking by a big group. I thought he was just being like, you know, ridiculous. But then we sat down and we were having a drink, and I was like, did you really shave your ass? And he was like, yes, and it really is itchy. And I was like, I think I'm busy tonight.
I think I need to leave here immediately.
Yeah.
The shaving is the weird choice though for that area. I don't
Well,
want.
it's painless.
I don't know.
It is painless,
You'd
but
have to go in to get like wax.
it will
or
leave it
something.
very
Yeah,
itchy.
wax-
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Waxing hurts though.
Waxing is
I've never
I've had
waxed.
2 kids, and I still think waxing is more painful than
Wow.
childbirth.
Are you
I'm
serious?
not even
Jeez.
joking. I'm not even joking.
Oh my god.
I would rather give birth than get waxed.
You had a birth without like any like
What?
pain relief?
But it is a
I get a
shorter amount of pain.
Did you have like a natural birth? Like did you have no like
My second was a natural. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Because
Wow, that's why he's so entitled.
yeah. Oh, slam!
Just teasing you.
Fuck you. No, it's actually true. He is pretty entitled. No, he came out too fast for me to get an epidural. My
Oh,
second
shit.
was like a
Accidental
fast
natural
and
birth.
furious labor
Okay.
is what they call it. And
That's
it was like-
very. It's
yeah.
very telling of his personality.
Yeah, it
Just
Yeah,
lasted
for
3
sure.
hours.
get the fuck out.
And
Yeah.
he's incredibly impatient. He's
Yeah.
a very
Yeah.
impatient
Yeah.
kid,
Interesting.
and he just shot out, and I didn't even have time for an epidural.
Wow.
He was
Yeah.
like, "I'm not staying
So
in
you
here
wouldn't
any
have
longer."
chosen that.
I would not have chosen that. I
Oh
chose an
my God.
epidural, but getting an epidural is quite painful. As
Yeah,
well.
all of it freaks me out.
No, I mean, yes, that's what I mean. That's why I love your comedy is because you get very real about motherhood. I mean, you should tell a
Yeah.
story about your birth. Maybe no one wants to hear that, but I want to hear that.
you
Birth
know-
stories freak me out so much.
My birth story was like my son's birth story is hilarious because I hired a doula.
Yeah.
But
A
I
doula.
don't know if it was her first time. Actually,
Yeah,
first-
yeah.
She,
you know the
you
doula.
didn't check her credits first?
Like, no, it
a
was kind of
reference?
it was kind of a
references,
spur
credits,
of the
references,
moment.
whatever.
I don't.
Credits.
So,
She's on JFL. She's
yeah, exactly.
You got a tape? You got a recording of how you
being
doula?
a doula.
How you do your doula?
Yeah.
Any babies
Are
can
you doing
speak on your
doula?
behalf.
Oh man, you guys.
So you hired a doula.
I hired a doula. I'm not knocking her. She was great.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't think she had ever been to the hospital that I was giving birth
She's never
at.
been to a hospital ever.
She's never been to a hospital. Well, actually, I think she probably did a lot of home births.
Okay. I'm a doula, but I've never done this before. How do you get the accreditation to be a doula?
I don't know.
I think you go to doula school.
School?
I don't know. Or you just
Okay.
put a website up and like, hey, I'm a doula.
What do they do?
I feel like I
They
have
hold your hand.
positive
They just
birthing
hold your hand.
energy.
You don't
Yeah.
have a.
I can be a doula.
No, they help you with your breathing exercises, right? So
Okay.
they're basically supposed to be your coach.
Okay.
Okay.
And I hired her because my ex was so shit in the birth room the first time around. He almost fainted.
Wow.
He was
Yeah.
trying to be supportive, but every time he would touch me, his hands were all sweaty.
Ew.
And then finally, I kicked him out. I was like, "Do not touch me with your cold, clammy hands. Get out!" And he was so somber during the
Yeah.
whole thing. Like seeing me in pain, he
Yeah.
was freaking out, which I
Yeah.
didn't need.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was like, "I'm not dying. I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, stop acting like you're here for my funeral." So he had to go.
Goodbye forever.
Yeah,
While
goodbye
you're like pushing his
forever.
child out.
And it was a whole crazy incident. Like he wasn't even there for the birth of my second child. His mom had a stroke. He had to go to Seattle.
Oh no.
Wow.
And I asked him to come back because I felt like I was going to go into labor.
Yeah.
He didn't come back.
Oh.
And I had to ask my mom to come.
Okay.
So she got on a last minute flight to Montreal.
Did she make it to Montreal?
She did,
Okay.
barely.
Okay.
I hired a doula so I wouldn't be alone giving birth.
Okay.
And she had never been to the hospital. So I go into labor on the day of his due date, which is so like him as well. He's like, not a
Yeah.
day past my due date.
Yeah.
Am I going to be in this womb?
Yeah. Yeah.
So she arrives, we meet at the hospital, and I'm like, labor is like kicking up. I'm like, she's like, okay, we got to get you to the floor. We got to get you to the floor now. People are coming in the elevator, and I'm like, you know, like
Yeah.
going through
Yeah.
excessive labor pains.
Yeah.
We're in the elevator just going up and down, up and down. And I'm like, what's going on? Are we not on the floor? It turns out she had taken me to the parking garage elevator.
So she's never ever been in a hospital. This doula.
Yeah, we get out. We actually walk into the parking lot, and I'm like, where the fuck are we? Are we in a parking lot? Am I going to have to give birth under a fucking Ford truck here? Like,
be
what's
fair, that's-
going on?
To be fair, that's probably not part of doula training. Is how to manage an
Navigate the
elevator.
hospital, yeah.
Honestly,
How to
lesson
locate
learned.
the doctor.
You should look at the floor plan of the hospital.
Oh,
you're taking
absolutely.
your client to.
Absolutely.
Other than that, though, she was a very good doula. She let me almost break her hand because I didn't have time to get an epidural. So I was like squeezing her hand. My mom was there, but she didn't want to have anything to do with it. She was just like in the corner.
But she got on a plane, but it was like,
got on a
but I'm
plane,
not
but-
partaking.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wouldn't.
She was like, "This is why you hired a doula. I'm gonna go sit in the corner." And like, I felt bad because, like, my sac didn't break.
Okay.
So like when.
Ugh, sack.
Yeah,
It's
all
the
of this
whole,
is
the
freaking
whole
me
my
thing.
like, sorry, this is a lot.
No, I love this.
Let's
I
gloss
love it.
over
This is
some of
very
this.
good
It makes me
content, but like
really
Michelle and I are so weird about this. I don't
So
know.
you guys are
I
gonna
get
want to have
really-
kids after this. You're definitely gonna want to have
definitely-
kids after this.
Not for me.
So like what like his head popped out, the
God.
sack broke, and like amniotic fluid shot all over my mom in the corner.
Good.
And I'm like, that's
Good.
for
Oh
years of
Good. Yeah.
spankings. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, it was insane. And then I was very funny after that. Like
reminds
the
me of, like,
hormones
the,
made me very funny, and I was
Oh,
like
yeah.
cutting up the
Yeah.
delivery room. They're like, "Do you want to?
yeah.
Do you want to see the placenta?" I'm like, "Cut it up and put it in a lasagna for me. I'm gonna eat it." And that was like amazing
Michelle was like-
hospital
I'm
humor
at my
because
limit
they
with
loved it.
these details.
They loved it. Zach is in the corner, by the way. Zach is in the corner,
Zach-
like
Zach
with his
is
heads
dying.
in his
Zach,
hands.
Zach
Like,
and Michelle.
I can't
really not
make
a-
it
Yeah.
through
One
this.
time I was getting my
Fernando
nails
oddly
done.
likes this. I feel like this is a weird.
This was like okay, 2
Yeah.
weeks ago. I was getting my nails done, and there was this woman sitting next to me, and she started telling like the nail lady about the time that she fell down the stairs and broke both her ankles. I was like, "Can you shut the fuck up? I don't want to know about your broken fucking ankles."
no, especially not a stranger.
All body things. I'm like, look, unless
Yeah.
everything's in working order, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, as you
Or
get
like
older,
whatever. I
though,
don't like hearing it. Like it freaks me out. Like people
Yeah.
talking about like. I just get freaked out by it. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like even
No,
my own,
it's-
like my own self. I'm like, if I get injured, I want to delete that part of my body
Yeah.
and pretend that it's not there.
Yeah.
'Cause it freaks.
That's called
I used to-
amputation.
I would prefer to be to amputate an arm rather than
Yeah.
like have it be injured. It would just freak me out. It freaks me
Yeah.
out. I don't like injury.
You will, like,
And
from
birth is like a big injury.
Yeah. From experience, like I used to be a lot like that. Like I used to be repulsed
Yeah,
by like blood
I
and
really
stuff.
get, like-
I've
mind blood,
had to
funnily
go
enough.
through like a bunch of surgeries for
Yeah.
various different things, and like just that exposure, you get like sensitized to
Yeah.
it. And also I dissociate a lot
Yeah,
during the whole
that's-
thing.
Oh, you'll
And
be
then-
great during birth then.
And
It's
then-
like it's just completely dissociate.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah, I dissociate, and I become very funny too.
Yeah.
There's something when there's tenseness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like
Yeah.
everyone's all serious. Like I've never been funnier than I'm in
It's weird
like
that way,
the
isn't it?
operating room, like
Yeah.
in like pre-op, going
Yeah.
into this major surgery. I am killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Tape while you're doing that and send that
Exactly.
to Sid and stuff.
Set up my tripod and my iPhone.
Oh,
just
yeah,
like get this
exactly.
material.
If I ever have a baby again, I'm just gonna
We're
set up
filming
my
it.
camera.
Would
I'm
you ever
making a
have another
comedy
baby?
special. Hell no.
Good.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
get
girl.
Zach
Atta
to
girl.
produce it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get
Zach would be a great producer. I would love to.
produce your baby?
I would love to have Zach present at the birth of my third child.
talk about dissociation. He will. He would not.
Would you do
I
it,
feel
Zach?
lightheaded right now. This is wild.
Would you film my third birth?
No. I could set up a camera and I could leave.
Yeah.
But I'm
Just
not-
like a man.
Not
Just
gonna edit
like
the
a
footage
man.
either.
I am not related to you any way possible. I'm not gonna see you be split open by a fucking child.
Pussy.
Well, thank you for that story. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Back to the topic. We don't have to. Have you guys ever stalked people online that you're like obsessed with?
Well, hell yeah.
admit
Hell
to
yeah,
that
right?
legally?
Who hasn't, right?
don't know
We
if you're
talked
allowed
about.
to
How we're
say
just
that.
jumping right into this.
No, yeah. Why not? Why
Ever
not?
stalked anyone?
No, like-
let me
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've ever met.
No, like a boy or a
Yeah.
guy that you've been interested in. Yes.
I think I did that this morning.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Before coming
absolutely.
here.
We like on the last episode that just came out with John, we talked about that. Like if
Yeah.
if you have like this interest that you're like, you know, you're gonna go on a date or whatever. He thinks it's really cute when the person like goes on the social media and likes a bunch of like old posts and stuff like that.
Okay.
I do it completely in secret.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
There's a
like-
time and
Yeah.
a place for like the intentional like of an old post. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like a moment for that, and it's not.
Oh
day
yeah,
one.
he thinks it's really cute, and he like
Okay.
No,
really,
it's
he thinks
weird.
it's
Freaks me out a little
flattering.
bit.
No, it's
But like when
not.
when I was obsessed with the boy in the story, I would like if he posted anything,
Yeah.
I would get the thrill of it. I would
Yeah.
like go and I would see who liked it, see who commented. If there
Yeah,
was
yeah,
someone that
yeah.
didn't like it, it'd be like, oh my god, why didn't they like it? I was just like, it was
Yeah.
insane. It was insane.
Sure.
So I used to deep dive in like old stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
I have
internet-
done that. I find lately though, because I'm typically into like older people, they don't have much of an online presence. So I
What?
don't have
Are
to,
you
like,
saying you have daddy issues, Michelle?
It's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's not the topic
But
we're
I'm
talking
thinking
about.
about like the most recent person, for
Yeah.
example, and like There's just not that much
There's
to
just
go on, so
nothing.
it has to be. You gotta
Yeah.
just, you gotta talk to the person.
Yeah. I mean, my boyfriend now doesn't have much of a social media presence. He
Yeah.
does.
It's nice though when someone doesn't. It
And
makes it
he-
easier.
Yeah, he doesn't really have. He does have like he's on like Pantelis's podcast like a few times.
Okay.
When I first like started dating him, like the first like I dived into all like hours of like watching this,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my god, I have such a crush on him.
Yeah.
And like, just like I got so. But he like
Are
he
you
gave-
shocked by this as well, Zach? Because I'm looking
Do
at
you
your
guys
face
not
as
do
well.
that?
do you stalk? You must.
I feel like that's what the internet was invented for, was for
stalk
stalking
people?
people. Yeah.
I've never I've had it where if someone I knew was interested in me, they'd watch a bunch of my own videos, which I thought was cool. But now it's kind of weird because it's like these videos more well than I do,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's flattering, but it's also like this so I'm hearing it while I'm not actively searching someone. It sounds weird. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a romanticism for it, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
fair.
not an online stalker romantic, you know.
That's not your love
Yeah.
language. Stalking
But,
someone online.
but Twitter though, I get behind that. You can find who.
Really?
Yeah. I like to see what the people tweet. That's the only thing where I will do a
You
deep
go
dive.
back,
Yeah.
like you deep dive,
Because you can see what they like too. You can't do
Yeah.
that on Instagram. You can't see
That's
what they
true.
like,
You
but you
used to be
can
able
on
to.
Twitter.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Wow.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. They have like all. Oh,
I don't
like-
have Twitter.
Yeah, I deleted my Twitter account.
Twitter is a cesspool, but it is
All
also
of
kind
it's
of cool.
kind of
yeah.
kind of creepy, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a big social media person either. I just do. I was off the grid for 7 years. I didn't have Facebook.
Oh, really?
Anything.
You're off the grid fully or off the social
Yeah.
media grid?
Off the social. That's what I call being off the grid.
You were still, you had a phone.
I still had a phone. I still,
off the
used
grid.
electricity. Yeah.
Had a bank
You lived
account.
in a cabin in the
I wish.
Adirondacks with like
God, I
no.
wish.
Oh,
That's
no,
the
I
goal.
would not want that.
I would want
I-
that.
I sometimes really want to do that. I have a fantasy that that's how I'm going to end up when I'm old. I'm just going to go to like Nepal and live in a monastery.
Nepal, eh?
Yeah,
Really?
it's
Not
like
the
no
same
one
as-
will
as
ever
the
hear from me again.
Oh,
it's
gosh.
like I know
Wow.
I'll
I say I
I'll
wouldn't
help
live in
the
Nepal.
local people, you
but
know.
I would live, in a cabin, but I wouldn't live in Nepal.
Mm.
I didn't like
You
Nepal
might
that
like it.
much.
You never know.
I've been to Nepal.
Oh. All right. Well, see,
Of everyone here, she knows.
I can romanticize it because I've never been.
I mean,
So
like the Himalayas are beautiful.
yeah.
No, I like the connection to the world. I like having access to things. I don't like camping. Camping is the
love
worst
camping.
thing in the world
love
to
it.
me. I could maybe do like I haven't been camping since I was like a kid.
Okay.
I can maybe I feel like I could maybe do one day, but I probably
Okay.
bail or end up sleeping in the car or something like that. Just like
I like both.
I don't know. Not for me. I need to be in touch with reality in the world. When I don't have like Wi-Fi connection, I get nervous
Yeah,
or
that's
like
fair.
data or whatever.
When I was in like Yosemite and whatnot, I found there were like a lot of the time I couldn't connect. To
Oh yeah, it made me
whatever.
very, very nervous.
Yeah, but
because
it was nice. There'd be moments where I'd be like, "Fuck this! I don't even know where the fuck I am or where I'm going," and like you couldn't leave because I didn't know how to get anywhere. But then there were other parts where I was like, "All right, fuck it. I guess I just gotta exist for now." I guess you can just do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nice, you get used to it. And then you kind of get like, I find like having a phone, there's like the constant need to respond to people
Oh,
or
yeah.
to like, engage with whatever. And when you don't have that option, it's like it's a relief.
It is.
Yeah.
And then you get used to that very quickly. And it's just overwhelming to be constantly like berated by everyone that you know and
Yeah.
everything that's going on. So it's nice. And if
Yeah.
somebody could take it away, I'd be like, great, take it. But the
Yeah.
idea that I would be the one to throw it away is not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. It is I find it very overwhelming to like always be like I mean, it causes anxiety, but
Yeah.
I'm like addicted to it.
That's exactly
yeah.
it. It's
That's
an
another addiction.
that
It's
we're-
another addiction. I am fully
Absolutely.
addicted
But
to
you
my
also,
phone.
You make the
and-
choice. If you were to not have a phone, you'd also be making the choice to not be in touch with the world the way that the rest of the world is in touch. So it's like left behind in a sense. So you'd have to be
Absolutely.
adjusting your whole life in a way. Like you'd have to be neglecting a lot of, or like disengaging from a lot of things that would put limits on your life that, in the modern world,
Yeah.
it would be a big choice. It wouldn't just be like, I'm addicted to my phone, so I'm going to put it away for a bit. But like, it would really be like you're cutting ties with possibilities and opportunities and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find social media to be a different sort of reality, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
it's
sure.
not real for sure.
Yeah. But
It's-
you get stuck in it.
Yeah, you get this like warped
It's overwhelming
perception
to
of
me.
like the world and people, even people that you know quite well. Like you get a different version of them online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's not real at all. And yeah.
And like you go through periods where you don't go on Instagram or whatever, and you're like, I just feel better. I'm just happier.
oh my God.
And
Oh,
it's
for
like,
sure.
especially ones like that where they are like meaningless. Like I keep Messenger all the time because it's the way that I keep in touch with people.
Yeah.
And for shows and stuff, like
Yeah.
it just makes
Right.
sense. But with Instagram, like I deleted it for most of the summer, and it was just like, wow, like my
Yeah.
brain has healed from,
Yeah.
Oh,
from all this weird,
I need to
useless
like
shit.
I need to detox and do
Yeah.
that, but it seems like such a hard thing to do.
It
like
is, but
Yeah.
you will feel better.
And it's like a couple days in.
I
you're
don't
like,
even know the first step
forget.
to do that
Delete
in
the
a way.
app.
Like
What I do is that I have some stuff only on my desktop.
oh, okay.
Like I
Nice,
only have
okay.
Facebook and Twitter on my desktop.
That's smart.
So I only see that when it's convenient to me.
Yeah.
right.
Because I hated that, like, I hate getting messages from, like, comedians in my regular life about
Oh,
shows and
yes.
shit. It gives me too much anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I'll get to it when I sit down. It could fucking wait,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
Especially Twitter. Like, Twitter, like,
Compartmentalism.
doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing on there.
I mean, I don't have like notifications on for some apps, so I think that helps a
Yeah.
little bit, but I definitely have it on for the ones that like are a problem.
yeah, exactly.
Like Instagram and Facebook, and yeah, no, I guess like it's just like I can people know how to detox from like alcohol. Like there's advice out there. There's like, oh, okay, you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't buy this, or like you don't like
Sure,
you
there's
stay away
methods.
from bars or whatever. If you're like when I was going through like recovering from food addiction, like I had steps to take for like social media. It's like there's definitely stuff out there, but then the information is on the place where I'm addicted to.
Exactly.
Like and I don't know, it's super hard. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
they
you've-
want you to be addicted.
They want you. So
That's
you
it.
you cut it
Yeah.
off for 7 years.
Yep, for 7 years.
Okay.
Which 7 years?
Good question, because there have been a lot of 7-year time spans in my life, unfortunately. This was after college, around when I got married,
Okay.
and through most of my marriage, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I was off Facebook. I was off. At the time, people had MySpace, so I was off
I've never had
MySpace.
Yeah.
And I was never really into it that much anyway.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. People contacted me
Yeah.
through email,
Okay.
but it just meant like it kind of whittled down unnecessary people who I was never going to see again. I moved around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So there were people who I knew who I was never going to keep in touch with.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to see that much about them,
Yeah. That's fair.
Okay.
to
yeah.
be honest
no.
with you.
There's
and
so
There's
much
no
on
need to
Fa-
keep up with all the, the
No.
details of these
No.
people's lives as well.
Right.
And it's true, if you don't have, like, it does kind of distill it down to the people that are actually in your life, which is
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of nice, you
Right.
know.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And it changed my relationship with social media when I
Okay.
got back on. I actually got back on Facebook and did Instagram because of comedy.
Yeah,
Because I would have
yeah.
no way
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah, that's why I got social. 'Cause I
promote
was
yeah.
social for a
shows
couple years.
or,
Yeah.
You
For-
couldn't do it if you
For
weren't
shows
No.
and booking and
yeah.
like
Yeah.
getting kind of to know other comedians and stuff,
Yeah.
you kind of do need it,
Yeah.
but it's also so annoying at the same time.
It
Like
is.
there's the people in the scene that you're not too happy about, and yet you're seeing like
Yeah.
bunch
I
of
just
stuff.
unfollow.
I
fucking
just
everything.
yeah, I
don't
just
give a shit.
unfollow.
I
don't-
feel weird, like,
and I'm
will they-
never on Facebook. So.
Sometimes I'm like, well, will they see if I unfollow?
They have to
Maybe,
go
but
look.
like,
will
they don't
they-
book me
will
on
they be
shows
mad at
anyway,
me?
so I don't give a shit.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I'm
If you're annoying online, I'm gonna unfollow you,
I,
and then that'll be a lesson for you. Don't irritate your friends.
yeah, maybe just tone it the fuck down a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
you know?
if Michelle is not following you, you've done something wrong.
No, honestly, you've done
Evaluate
very little wrong.
your
but-
life immediately.
Ooh,
Oh, man.
now it gets hot.
Yeah, there's some people that I wouldn't feel comfortable unfollowing because we're too much like we're
Like
we're
she's
friends.
talking about me.
But I will mute them. I'll mute the posts, mute the stories. I don't care.
Yeah.
Restrict the account. Don't see
Yeah.
the messages.
Yeah.
But we're friends.
But we're friends. We're close. We're definitely close.
Yeah.
No, I need to take this step to like disengage, but it is hard because we
Yeah.
we are comedians, and that's kind of how we kind of get by and stuff. What other? I mean, we've talked about in the first episode that you've had addiction issues, Michelle. Can you relate to having addiction issues other than?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been very open about drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Can you-
fact, during the second pandemic, it became a
The
huge
second
problem.
pandemic.
Yeah, it was pandemic number 2.
Holy shit. What's the second?
There,
Second lockdown. I meant
lockdown.
the
Yes,
second
there's one
lockdown.
pandemic, multiple lockdowns.
Michelle, keep
or
up.
waves.
It's been all over social media. Okay, you don't even
Pandemic
know
2.
about it.
Oh gosh.
It's
I just
pandemic
kill
2. They
myself.
just made a movie.
Yeah, there will be. There will be.
God, that's fucking funny. The second pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have an alcohol problem. I will
Okay.
say that. Comedy has not helped that.
No, it doesn't.
It
at all.
ratcheted that up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've taken steps to control it. I don't keep any alcohol in the house.
Oh, amazing.
I
Okay.
make sure I take a bunch of sober days.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually I had a breaking point over the second lockdown.
Okay.
I was drinking a lot by myself, which wasn't good. And it was not when the kids were there. I found I was too distracted with the kids
Yeah.
to do that. But it was the weeks I didn't have the kids that I found myself drinking a lot. And I looked into AA. I didn't actually go to a meeting, an AA meeting, because of the religious thing. Kind of
Yeah.
creeped me out. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not sure I want to do this. But I went to this place in NDG. It was like an outpatient rehab
Okay.
thing, and I did it a couple times.
Okay.
And
Do you find it helped? It gave you some like.
I found that it helped jumpstart me to kind of take control on my own.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know if there were some aspects of it that I was like, okay, like the group meetings were a bit much.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
would
hate groups
just
as
love
well.
to go to the group meetings just to hear the other people's stories.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a weird. Maybe
I
it's
think that's
weird.
like-
It's weird, right? Just to
think
hear
that's-
other
yeah.
people's.
Should never do that.
I just. It's kind of like gossip. Like
It is
oh.
a little bit. It is a little bit. It's like, oh, how bad
I know. I
did you
know.
get?
I wouldn't tell
I
people
went
about
to-
it. I would just like let
If
it.
you went to because I went to NA meetings. If you're there as a faker just to hear other people's stories,
Can you
that's
tell if there's
so
a
shitty.
faker?
I don't know. I wasn't looking for fakers. I was there
I
because
would be.
I
I'd be like, who in here is bullshitting right now?
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's so
See,
fucking
you
funny.
didn't like the group.
I would be really upset if
didn't.
there was a faker in the group.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be
Yeah.
that would be psychopathic.
It would be really like
who
for
would
what?
want
Actually
do
do
that in
it.
their
To be clear, I
spare
would
time.
actually do it. I would
These
just like
things
to
are
hear the story.
so
gosh.
painful to have
Of
to do.
course.
Like why would anyone want to do this in their
You'd have to
spare
really get
time?
your kicks in like some fucked up way.
Yeah, you're a
before they-
psychopath.
I want
You're
to
a
hear these people,
serial
and then I
killer.
want to make up a story of my own to contribute to the group.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
All
crazy.
Of that
That's
is like,
yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, that is weird. That is.
Let me
weird.
know if you ever do that.
I will never do
Yeah,
that.
so I never
wouldn't
have.
do it. I mean, I definitely can relate to having addiction. So like,
Yeah.
I could go there for a purpose, but
sure.
I wouldn't do it solely for the stories and be like,
no,
he. And like, no, I'm not like gonna.
Just taking notes.
Just taking notes.
I could see a writer doing that, like something fucked up like that, where they're looking for like the truth
oh
or
right.
whatever.
They need
Yeah.
material.
Exactly.
They need to like dive
yeah,
into their character.
we all are writers
psyche.
too. So I think that's why like
yeah,
my brain.
there's like something there.
yeah.
That
I don't
so
know.
fucked. I kinda
But
like
that's messed up.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
What has been your experience with like NA meetings, like group? Are they interesting?
You know, I only went to a few, and it would have been like years ago. And it's super stressful because you feel like you never feel like you're gonna end up in a situation like that. So you definitely feel weird about it.
Yeah.
Like going in, like you know, you're a little bit nervous, your hands are shaking, whatever. Like it was weird.
Yeah.
I had somebody who came with me, so that was nice. And then I didn't say anything ever. I never said a word. Like I was not in a position to be contributing to these conversations. It also felt very weird being like 22 and then everybody there was like 40 something and 50 something, and I was like, I really feel not good.
yeah.
And you couldn't tell what people were talking about all the time. Like, you know, I was there for cocaine, but it's like other people were there for other things, and it was like hard to say, like, you know, like somebody was talking about weed at one point, and I just can't help it. I was like, I don't go home. Like, I don't
Yeah.
get out of here.
Weed is not an addiction.
And I know that's not true. Like, I know a lot of people who struggle with that, but like at the time, I was just like, you're not adding up to the rest of us here. I don't think.
Yeah.
Which is completely unfair. But
So you would have to say what it is you
you
were
didn't have to. No. But like,
for.
no. You don't have to
Okay.
say anything. But some people would be more open and some people would be less open. But my takeaway was ultimately that it was the first time through all of my own addiction kind of period that I felt like there were other people that I could relate to.
Yeah.
So that was a
Yeah.
huge thing as far as just like feeling like a human being again, where you're like, okay, you're not the only person who's like
Oh, absolutely.
struggling in this
Yeah.
exact way. And it was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, like it's the same, totally different details, but the
That-
same
that-
overarching
it's so helpful
experience.
to like you, I think you mentioned it in the first when you were here in the first episode that like it's very isolating. You feel so alone when you're trying to control this addiction. So like it's so important to like have someone that like understands at the base level,
because then you don't even know where to, like, you don't know where to seek that out. You know? You don't know who to talk to figure that stuff out. So it was very, in that sense, that was like humanizing, you know?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Although in my instance, I feel like most people I know have alcohol addiction problems, you
fair.
know,
That's fair.
especially in comedy.
I definitely
It's
feel
just
like
a part of it. I
Oh,
never
yeah.
felt alone in that way. I think we could all use rehab.
it's
Not excluded, present
Yeah.
company excluded, but
there's a lot. There's a lot of
know.
comedians that maybe need to evaluate a little bit,
Right.
like self-reflect, and I'm sure they have a lot of them. But it's in general, I feel like alcohol is very socially accepted,
Right.
Totally.
It is. Yeah.
Which, like, I mean, I'm not like a profound person for saying that. A lot of people say that, but like even like, you know, on social media, and it's weird that if I go to a show and I say no, I'm not drinking, people are like, why?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's not like I'm the weirdo
Yeah,
for
for
not
not
wanting to
partaking.
have get the free drinks,
For
or like
sure.
to have, like, if someone offers me a drink, they're like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And like they usually, when I say like I'm not drinking, they usually don't dive too into it, but
there's
it's
a
always
reaction,
like
yeah.
it's always like a weird reaction. And on social media, like you see, like, you know, people are like glamorizing it, like, oh, just
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
I drink a bottle, like a whole bottle is a single serving, and like, and
Who are
like,
these people?
pardon?
Oh, I don't follow these
No,
people.
it's just like funny. I don't know, like TikTok, like
Oh,
like
okay.
or like even like people like the mothers on like social media are just like,
Oh,
well,
right.
it's wine
Like,
o'clock.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
I get those.
It's wine
Yeah.
o'clock or
For sure.
whatever.
And they have a giant glass of wine.
Yeah, which I know, like, in the most part, it's like a joke, and if they
No,
they
that's a
wanna,
reality.
But I think it is reality for a lot of people. But
Yeah.
then, like, it's socially accepted, so they kind of like, well, everyone else is drinking.
Totally. But even with weed, like, as much as I was saying that I didn't feel it was comparable to other things, people, because it's so socially okay.
Yeah.
It's people will become like, you'll be neglected if you are suffering or if you are struggling. It's like people will write you off, like, oh, it's not a big deal because it's just weed or whatever.
Yeah.
Like things that have been just kind of accepted as part of normal life. You then get, like, you slip through the cracks, and then people are not looking out for you, and like, or they're not taking you seriously if you
Yeah.
are struggling, especially like at nightlife, you know, comedy. It is so normal to drink a lot or to
Yeah,
be
and
drinking
smoke
often.
weed as well.
Totally.
I mean,
and
Oh,
cigarettes too.
absolutely.
It's like, and then like during the
Right.
day, you're like, need help, and then people are like, yeah, man. Anyway, see you tonight.
Well, such a straight.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's too normalized, and then there's a lot of neglect.
Yeah. But so you went to this outpatient and they gave you some coping skills or like some.
I had extensive phone consultations too because it was during the pandemic, so they did like a phone thing. So I only met with them once, and then they did like assessments over the phone.
Okay. And did you find it helped?
I did, but I really felt like shit.
Oh, really?
After the first one, because a lot of issues come up. It's not just, okay, we need to, you have a problem, so how are we going to help? It's why do you have this problem?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your childhood. Let's talk about your family situation. Let's talk about what you're doing. Let's talk about why do you have this? How do you feel when you drink? And you don't even question that.
Oh, yeah. It's like opening a wound.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't want to think about. They're asking you these questions.
You're drinking to dissociate
like,
from all of that. You don't want to feel any of that. That's so, of course it's painful as fuck.
And I can be a very closed off person as well. I don't like a lot of people prying into my life or emotional state, even though I post shit online and I talk about my personal stuff on stage, but it's just
it's different.
It's different when you offer that information as opposed to when you're not ready to.
That's it. You're not.
To give
you
it
can
to
choose
someone.
what you share with people. So when they start, going beyond that, it's like the walls go up.
Yeah, it was.
And I mean, therapy in general, is so painful for like I've been in therapy for like with this therapist for 5 years, and even I'll have like sessions that I was just like, oh my God, I feel terrible. Even though he knows most of what's going on, he has lots of background, but like it's just therapy is not doesn't feel good every time.
No, so I didn't finish the program.
Okay, so it doesn't.
I dropped
was too
out.
much.
I dropped out. It was also very expensive as well.
Okay.
And
which is another thing, like people who don't have resources to go through the motions that you would want to go through.
Yeah.
Like, you are just kind of just up to you.
And they asked me a bunch of weird questions too. They asked me, they were like, "Oh, do you rent or do you own?" Or because they kind of do it on a slight,
Oh, it's a slide and scale,
kind of. But then they wanted to like offer you more resources. I think if you could afford to pay, like if you could afford it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I found that weird. And I understand it was a private business. It was also on Monkland, so it's like. They get a lot of rich, a lot
bougie,
of like,
exactly.
rich housewives
with some extra income,
opiate addictions and alcohol issues. So rich kids, rich teenagers, parents are going to send them to rehab.
Okay.
So it felt weird.
Okay.
It felt a bit scamish.
Okay.
Okay. So
you didn't end up finishing. Well, if it was expensive.
If you got anything out of it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I drink less. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I haven't quit drinking completely, and I don't know how 100% effective it was. Basically, guys, I'm still an addict.
2 sessions worth of improvement.
Yeah, and I still, I don't keep alcohol in the house.
Well, that's
good.
That's
That's
a
good.
great first step. And I mean, for some people, I don't think fully like sobriety is for everyone. Like I know that might be.
No.
Pardon?
I said right now at this point in my life, no.
But like full sobriety, I mean, like I definitely like I don't know if I've talked about it before, but like I practice like flowbriety or flowber, like flexible sober.
Whoa, what is that?
It's a flexible sobriety, like flexible sober, like flowber.
Sounds like a cartoon.
I don't think I've made up this term. I feel like someone else said it to me,
sounds like one
and
of my
I
kids'
was like,
sounds like that movie that Robin Williams was in.
Flubber, flubber.
Yeah, flubber.
That movie was so
Flowber.
weird.
I don't really remember it, and I don't care to.
It was just a jelly friend of Robin Williams.
Just jelly friend.
Why did Flubber get made?
Why did a lot of movies get made? Like
That's a
Mike
whole other
remind.
podcast.
Oh, really? 15 minutes
we
left.
just got the
Oh my God, we haven't even talked
Holy
about boys.
Oh my God.
Wasn't this about addiction?
Okay,
of
enough
boys?
about flubber.
Yeah, fuck Flubber. The movie
It's okay.
sucked.
Let's talk about boys. Let's talk about boys. So your boyfriend forgot your birthday.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
Okay. But you guys-
It's fine. There was circumstances, concerning it. He
Yeah.
got me an early birthday present.
Okay.
Daniel had a party that was also supposed to include me in the party. So we went to the party and he thought, oh, that was kind of the birthday thing. And I'm
Okay.
like, no, that was Daniel's house party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was like
Masquerading as a birthday party.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like an everything affair excuse to have a house party.
Okay.
And then the weekend was very hectic. So my birthday was on Monday, and then he just forgot.
Okay. Okay.
But I was not happy.
Pretty bad.
No,
And I
wouldn't-
cried.
chaotic.
Oh, of
and
course.
Michelle came out and had,
We had a good time.
dinner with me and my kids. And
Okay.
Yeah.
So like he just fully forgot to wish you happy birthday, or
yeah,
just
he
didn't.
just forgot about it.
Okay,
He just forgot
okay.
about the day. But
Did you want him to like come?
Yeah.
Like do. Like
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
well,
of
I wanted
course.
him to wish me happy birthday.
Yeah,
I wanted
yeah.
him
Bare
to be
minimum,
happy
bare
that I
minimum.
was born.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good
That's
now.
sad.
We decided, we set expectations, and the expectation is he's going to be nice to me on every single day of the year except for my birthday. He's going to
Okay.
treat me like shit. He's going to
Okay.
forget. He's
Okay.
going to,
Yeah.
be an asshole.
He's gonna cheat on you.
Yeah.
He's gonna,
Yeah.
Okay. The whole.
That's a good. That's a good.
So
I mean,
now-
that's a good compromise.
Yeah, now I know. And
Okay.
it's
So what
totally
about on his
fine.
birthday?
Oh no, on his birthday I still have to do everything.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what works for you, good.
And how did you and Tav meet?
We met at Honey Martin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mike and I first kissed at Honey Martin's.
Wow, so fun for all you guys.
Wait a minute.
Oh my
I
God.
remember
I did
that.
cocaine for the first time at Honey Martin. So we all have relationships that grew from Honey Martin.
Yeah. For better or worse, I
you
guess.
kissed Mike at Honey, and you met Tav at Honey.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Am I the only
you
one who has
did-
an extremely
and
poor
you did
relationship with this
cocaine at Honey.
That place is like the most.
you have kissed a lot of men at Honey Martin's,
That is true.
though.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
A lot.
We did right after the pandemic. Didn't we? We were making out with people at Honey Martin.
Oh,
I don't
like
remember-
last
I don't remember
summer.
a particular
Last
event.
summer we spent a
It
lot
was-
of time at Honey
I'm just
Martin's.
thinking of the people that I've kissed in general. I'm not thinking of one night where I kissed
No,
everyone.
no, there were multiple nights when we
Actually, the other
ended
night at
up-
Hurley's.
Yeah. You were
guess like
single though. We were both single.
Oh god.
But it's fun. Boys are fun.
Boys are kind of fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we still calling them boys or like? Are
I don't
they
know.
men now?
It's
I
fun.
don't-
It's fun sometimes.
Zach,
it's
would you
probably
have
not.
If I said I was kissing a bunch of girls, that'd be fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
Does it
I'll
make-
say men.
Okay.
Men are fun. That's not as fun
Well,
to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
God.
we should say it.
Men are fun. I prefer
I don't
actually
know.
men. The word boys freaks me out, to be
Yeah,
honest.
because
Yeah.
I have a son. you
Okay,
know?
then
I
we'll-
think,
we'll
I think
speak
I
of-
should probably.
Hey, we're not saying boys. All right.
I should
Boys,
probably
yeah,
switch to men.
Boys to
That,
men.
that also sounds bad. I should switch to men
Yeah.
instead of boys. Oh, God.
It's fine. Okay. No men. No men. No men ever. Did I finish?
Ever?
Yeah, no men ever. I don't know.
I don't know.
Did I
Revisit
finish
that
my
this time
my rant about phlebriety? I don't think so.
I don't know.
And,
No, wait,
and,
no,
and
wait,
I got the
wait.
light or whatever. It's
That's
basically I go through periods of times of not drinking. Like I set a goal, and then like sometimes I reward myself by getting plastered, and sometimes I just have like one drink. So I just like I have these small stints of sobriety just to like
Yeah.
keep that in check, because like I could go fucking crazy, and especially
Right,
like
right.
I can relate with you, like during the pandemic, like the
Yeah.
first lockdown, I just went insane with like drinking and eating and just like fully not taking care of myself. So now I do that, and I keep things like
Yeah, you
it
take
keeps
periods.
it calm.
Sure.
It keeps it.
I
it's-
take periods where I don't drink either. It's usually like when I wake up in the morning
2
until
hours.
sundown. And then it's, that's all.
12-hour periods.
Yeah,
For sure.
good. It's fasting.
It's fast.
Yeah.
I'm intermittent not drinking.
Intermittent
Intermittent sober.
intermittent sobriety, I guess.
I don't drink.
Good. I'm
I
proud of you.
I don't drink alone, and I don't drink every day, so that's never been my thing. But
Yeah.
good for you guys.
I used to love drinking alone. I used to love drinking
I
alone.
still like it.
Yeah.
I just would get tired in like
Falls
go to
asleep.
bed.
Just-
Like
but
Yeah.
that's great.
I like.
Yeah, that is
I
great.
drink so like for
Yeah.
It's great to
socializing.
fall asleep.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't get anything out of it because I drink when I'm with people and not like probably not even from like a healthy point of view or whatever. Like it's still coming from a place of like, you know, almost as like a crutch sometimes. So it's not like I'm drinking because I'm so well and like I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
But I'm drinking to allow myself to have a better time.
Yes.
But alone, I'm just like I don't get anything out of this. There's no one that I can like. There's nothing. I don't know. There's nothing.
There's no one you can
fun.
make out with.
Yeah.
Look, I know I have a problem where I kiss everybody.
That's not a bad
You're
problem.
addicted
Could
to
be worse.
kissing
You could punch
men.
people.
Fuck it,
At least
I
you're
like
kissing
it.
people.
Plus, it's not. You know, I think it's relatively harmless depending on who's around and
Yeah.
who you're
Yeah.
kissing.
I mean, kissing
Yeah.
is so fun. It's just
Yeah,
like
no, it's
ve-
my preferred
it's-
activity.
It's really cool.
Well, what we're all
It's-
gonna do
It's so
when this
exciting to
podcast
like
ends.
have that like flirty moment with
Yeah.
a man. Have
Yeah.
a flirty
Or a
moment
woman.
with a man, not a boy, and
boy.
And have have like
Yeah.
make out. It's nice.
It's good times.
It's nice.
Good times only. Okay.
Good times. Well, we have to wrap up soon. I always end the podcast with 2 questions, but before I get into it, I wanna talk to Kara about like how do you get into comedy?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I also started at I was going through a divorce actually.
Okay.
It was before I got divorced, but it was, when my marriage was ending, and I had 2 kids and I was going insane. I didn't have a lot of friends in Montreal. I hardly knew anyone because I moved here with my ex. He was getting a PhD at McGill, and so it was like his circle of friends, people he knew here.
Yeah.
So you remember Shaika?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that place.
You would walk by on Tuesday nights, and I saw that they had a comedy night. And, my life was like kind of in the shitter at that point. I remember talking to a good friend of mine and telling her like hilarious stories. And she was like, oh my God, you should do this you should make a bit or something like that. And I'm like, actually, there's an open mic down the street from me. And I think that's how it happened. I don't even know why I was compelled to do it. I just did it because I needed to get out of the house. I didn't want to join a mommy group because like you, I am not a group person. And I don't gravitate towards, other parents just because they have kids. I find that it's very hard to relate to other people just based on one fact.
Yeah.
The fact that they have kids and,
Yeah.
I don't actually like kids anyway. So I
Neither
just
do
like
I.
my own kids.
Kids are
but-
terrible.
and
I do like your
sometimes
kids.
not even
Sometimes.
then. But yeah.
Visiting your kid.
Yeah.
So your first set was at Shaika.
My first set was at Shaika.
Okay,
and
what-
Sarag
what-
was there.
Was Sarag hosting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was his show for a while, right?
Yeah, it
Right.
was him and Dion, and at one point that show was Dan, Karen, and
Chris.
and Chris
Yeah,
And
Chris
then it
Hannaford.
was
Hannaford.
you. It was ours.
Yeah.
And it was ours when Sarag was in Scotland.
Yeah.
That's
We
so
had a
funny.
stint.
Yeah, I liked that show a lot. It was
yeah.
it was
that was a time.
it was a wild card sometimes because
Sometimes it was great,
but sometimes it was really really great. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I needed to get out of the house. I needed to do something. That's what I thought about doing. And I didn't intend on going back. I was like, I'm just going to do this once. And I totally bombed.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
And it was
Everyone
Shaika,
bombed.
right?
Yeah.
Like, and I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
But people weren't laughing. And I was like, they were smiling. I was like, okay, that's something. My expectations were so low. But Sarag was very encouraging. He came up and he was like, that was great. I really hope to see you back. And so I was like, okay, maybe that felt really nice. Maybe I'll go
Yeah.
back.
It's just
Yeah.
that little boost where you're
Yeah.
like, now you're in it, now you're
absolutely.
Yeah.
addicted.
Absolutely.
It is. And it's again,
yeah.
comedy
Yeah.
is definitely an addiction as
Oh.
well. Like
Oh,
the adrenaline rush
definitely.
you feel. And
It's low. It's
making
a.
people
It can be
laugh.
a more like it can be an addiction, but in like it's a healthier addiction for me.
Yeah.
I think for sure.
Yeah.
It's more productive.
yeah, I think it can go both ways. But
Yeah.
yeah, it got me through a very rough period in my life.
It seems
as
to
well,
be
getting divorced.
Yeah, it seems to be a general like theme that like comedy really helps people like get through things. Like you explained that on the first episode is that like you were coming out of a dark period and then you started stand up and then it kind of got
like the bridge.
yeah. We have to end for the last two questions. The one of them is, what is your deepest passion or your biggest passion in life?
Oh, man, wow.
I answered these the first time.
You
so
did?
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
on you.
People, you can either answer again or people can go to the
Okay.
first episode with Michelle and listen to it.
Right now, honestly, it's ordering food to my house.
Yes.
Love doing
It
Yes.
is
So-
actually
so
like the
fun.
joy, like I'm so passionate about getting it with a bottle of wine as well, because
Oh.
it's like an extra thing
Yeah.
when you get your food and then a bottle of wine comes with it.
From Uber Eats, you can add something.
know.
Yeah, you can add.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
fun.
a lot of
it's called a
restaurants
group-
have.
Oh, yeah.
What like
yeah,
alcohol?
yeah,
that you
yeah.
can
And they
order
make
with
you.
it.
They make you. They supposedly check your ID
They
at the
do.
door.
They check my
They
ID.
never check my
Oh,
ID.
are you serious? They check
Not
my ID
once.
all the time.
No, I mean I've only done it a few
So
times, like
lucky.
over
Yeah,
the
because you
span
get
of
kids to
whatever.
answer the door.
That's true.
Yeah, they never.
My
check.
kids have definitely tried to order alcohol on multiple occasions. I'm like, son, you are 6.
So your passion is ordering food. What's your favorite place to order from right now?
Cafe Gentile. I really like it. It's like a nice Italian place.
Okay.
Westmount.
Nice.
Super bougie.
Yes.
Love it.
I liked Melrose the other day. That was
I
really
like
good.
to treat myself. Oh
It
yeah,
was really good.
Melrose
really
was
enjoyed
good.
that
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
I got her this balloon that said "Happy 90th Birthday," and then
Yeah.
her son like broke the string, and it
And it
flew up into
went
a
into the
tree,
tree
and
and
it's just like
deflated.
stuck in the tree.
Is it still in the tree?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm sure it's still in the tree. It's underneath all the like the branches. But if you're
Yeah.
sitting at like in their terrace, if you look up, it'll say "Happy 90th Birthday."
That's so great. That's
Yeah, that
so
means
funny.
she's a good friend.
You should be with me instead of Tav. That's
Well,
all
I
I'm
mean, I
saying.
sort of am, but
That's true.
you
We
know.
are in a
You guys
sort
are
of
engaged.
relationship.
So do you guys
We are
remember
engaged to be
being-
married. Remember when we said that we
that's
were going to get married
right.
because
I'm marrying
things-
Michelle so she can get U.S. citizenship. I
Well,
totally
now we
forgot
can't do
about
it.
that.
Delete this part.
Our love is real. Our love is real.
We're
It's
genuinely in
alive.
love.
Listen, I'm bi now, just like everybody else. Okay.
Just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And the next question is, what is one of the hardest things you've ever been through?
Oh my God. I need hours to
Hours.
answer this.
You could sum up.
So okay, sum up. Jesus. I mean, the most obvious, hardest thing I've probably ever been through is when I got mugged. And I had to figure out how to, get out of a mugging alive.
Oh.
That was pretty rough.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I do
Okay.
have a bit about
When-
that, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when did this happen? I forget.
Oh, this was years ago.
Okay. Okay.
It was after I was working at a restaurant.
okay.
So I think that they had been like stalking us coming out because we
Okay.
parked our car. It was like a fine dining restaurant in a really shitty neighborhood because
Okay.
the chef couldn't afford. It was like his restaurant, so he couldn't afford rent in a really nice neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay.
So we had a ton of cash on us, and they probably
Boy.
knew that.
Yeah, they had
Target,
watched.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So a friend was walking with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was giving her a ride home, and we were just talking in my car, and it was like midnight probably, and like we hear a tap on the door, and it's like a kid with a gun,
oh,
and the kid
shit.
was 14.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a gang initiation actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
Because we after we called the cops.
Yeah.
My friend ID'd the car that he jumped into. And the cops were able to pull like a carload of gangsters over.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
And we had to do an ID at like 3 a.m. This was in Kansas City, and there's some very like ghetto parts of Kansas City. So we like
Yeah.
were in the straight up ghetto IDing, trying to ID.
A child.
Yeah, he was 14.
Oh my god.
He was
Oh my
14.
gosh.
Fucking intense.
Oh my gosh.
And
Did you ID him?
yeah, I did. I actually ID'd him correctly. My friend was freaking out the entire time. So she was like head in her hands. She couldn't even look at him.
Yeah.
But that was the tenseness of the situation, was that he had a gun and he was trying to get our
absolutely.
bags, and she was freaking out. So I was like the only one that was sort of there to engage with him.
Okay.
To, you know, give him our stuff and make sure that, you know, he got out without shooting us, basically.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
That's terrible. That's
Yeah,
a really,
That's
really.
really scary.
had a lot of PTSD from that.
Yeah.
I couldn't sit in a car for years.
Yeah.
Like, and that's I just got a car again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one of the reasons why I didn't have a car for many
was
years
because of
is-
that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry you went through
No,
that.
I
That's
mean-
really,
Yeah, for real. That's
really.
That's America, baby.
Oh God.
That's
Land of the
good old
free.
USA. Woo.
Well, thank you guys. I mean, we have to end on
I know.
that.
That's why I was like, don't ask me this question now.
We always do that, though. I
Yeah,
kind of
well,
like.
That's like
Last time
one
I
of
like
many,
10.
though. You know?
I know. Thank you guys both for coming. If you want to hear
you.
Michelle's answers to those questions, go
Yeah.
to episode
Just,
1.
DM me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got stories to tell. DM her.
Buy my album. It's just me talking about my passionate experiences or whatever. Just all the negative things in my life.
Yeah.
Well, follow Kara and Michelle on all social media to follow
That we hate.
their comedy
Follow us.
career. Follow Comedy on Demand, our company.
Oh, yeah.
Hire us for shows. Listen to AA Meeting. They have 4 episodes
Yeah,
out.
I need to promote that more. We never promote
is
our podcast ever.
I listened to all 4.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
wow.
just like I listened to the first one when it first came out, and then I listened to the remaining 3 before having you on, and they're very nice. They're
We're gonna
cool.
have guests soon.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I do like. I
I don't
love your
listen to
setup.
podcasts.
With like, there's like, you know, your plants around you.
Yeah, that's the
and-
only decor I could put in.
I mean,
there.
it's cute. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's homey, you know, it's my home.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like it a lot. I want to say thank you to our funders, our sponsors, Pantella Studio, Zach Kick on the 1s and 2s, Fernando. Thank you. To the listeners, thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, follow. We do have a Patreon if you want to contribute a bit more. And thanks. Yeah, this is great.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you.